Yeah. La 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 la. Let's see. Let's see. Grabbing on my strap. Hope you all been having a good Friday. I keep forgetting it's Friday.
Nephos.
Alrighty, got my headphones plugged in. I hope you all had a good day. I had a pretty good day. It's always a good day when I can pay for my Chinese with tip money and still have tip money left over. So You know, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been chill. I just kind of I grinded off stream this morning, like so we didn't have to worry too much about keep on grinding after we defeat Rocket in this part. But yeah, we should be ready to go. Everyone's basically set up. Bell, thank you for hit from the bowl. Heaven first. Welcome, welcome. I hope your day off was treating you well. I hope it was as boring or eventful as you like. I know some people just pray for chill evenings. Hell yeah. That sounds great. No complaints here. Let's see, you gotta kill the stream. Music and yeah. So caught some of our Pokemon up in level. So we're not just spending part of the stream grinding up Swoombat and whatnot. Hey Rue, welcome, welcome. We're just getting started. So let me show some of the Pokemon. Let's see, we already had this guy. Yeah. I guess Swanus, the new one I haven't shown off. Yeah, look at that Swana sprite. Oh, look at it. Just bask in its awfulness. Beautiful. Like a swan. Like a swan. Kuroko Koko still hasn't evolved. Oh yeah, we're in the damn Poke Center. But yeah, I just went ahead and just got them leveled up. And I don't know, we just gotta carry. It's just funny because like, yeah, like only one of these Pokemon were actually taken to the Elite Four. Ooh. Snore. Ha! He's sticking his snoozing. God damn. That's too... Alright. You got that one, Belle. You get that one. But just that one. Alright. Yeah, let's get our Palpitoad leveled up. And yep, let's go through Rocket. Hey kid, what are you doing here? If I need to, well, ideally I should be getting through Rocket with like everyone hitting their level cap. Like the point, I guess, like taking on Rocket now is like I'm not having to worry about raising up Swoombat and others. Gothita. Man, for such an early move, Bubble Beam in this game is so good. I'm also pretty sure it focuses on this special stat, which is probably why it gets used over Surf. Oh, fuck you. Guess what? Palpitoad, level 36. Yes, it's this fly squirrel, I think. And there we go. I goofed! Oh, Palpitoad is evolving! That's alright, I guess. Yes. Disable. Alright. Now we got our Toad Monstrosity. Did I just, like, reconnect? I just looked over and was like, wait a second. But yeah. Silphco is a... No kids are allowed in here. One of the... Just need to drink water. Ah, sure. One of the achievements in vanilla, blue, and red is getting through Silphco without fighting more than one trainer. You're only allowed to fight one other trainer along your way to getting to Giovanni. Oh, I became confused. Darn it. No. Don't stop this, you stupid toad. You're better than this. Thank you. Tough. I'm just like, I don't know. It makes me happy that even now, like, I'm playing this game 20 years later, I'm still learning new things about it. Or things I just never heard of before. It's off limits here. Go home! As a kid, I always thought, for some reason, these look like udders. Like, I don't know why, but I always associate these looking like udders. Oh yeah, that's right. Throw some dirt on it. Now that's weird. Ground's not. I guess this ground's not that effective against bug. Whirl. Pawniard. Oh yeah, the Pawniard line. Oh my god, look at. Oh, poor boy. Oh my god, they did him so dirty. It took me a minute to realize which Pokemon this was. Oh my god. Oh my. Boy got shafted. Yeah, the switch. You're good. Thank you. Thank you. You're causing us problems. Just throw acid on it. Oh shit, Dragon Rage. Yeah, Swan or Krokorok. And we gotta train our Dragon Boy up too later. Don't be surprised if that's what I do this weekend. Just like off stream, I just work on getting our some of our other mons leveled up. Because we do have some that are like 25 that we gotta get to like level 50 or 40. Huh? I lost. So, what do you think of self-building maze? Is it a company feature? Like, it's like, it was just part of the company plan? I'm one of the 4 Rocket Brothers. Okay. I don't remember you in the Rocket storyline. Oh, let's go. Trubbish coming out. We got our little drill boy. Our little drill boy knows Earthquake now. So he's fast. He knows a really good move. And he just hurts a lot of things really, really badly. So we like him. The one good thing I say about Swoobat is it finally learned... God, what did it learn? It learned Hypnosis, which is a great move. It's going to be super useful for probably when we go after the other, what's it called? God, who is it? Probably when we go after the legendaries. We'll see if they actually will use, or force us to, like, put them to, like, sleep in order to capture them. Oh, brothers. Swana, a pheasant. Okay, so while I'm thinking of it, we should do another movie night. Like next week. I gotta double check my schedule and make sure. But honestly, yeah. Oh shit, I did go apartment looking again. Didn't like this new place as much as the other place, so gonna keep looking a little bit, but kind of get things like ready, like my pay stubs and whatnot. Start checking out, or just start getting things ready. My apartment lease ends on September the 25th, so a little bit, a little bit closer than I like, but oh well. I'll be ready. Pretty sure I'll be good and all set to go. When does Red finally battle the Rocket Grunt from Rocket Edition? Well, we did that back at Mount Moon, and we kicked his ass. And hit from Bull. Thank you, Shark. And welcome in. Hope you're doing well. We're just vibing, talking about moving, and God, I got just even saying it just like kind of gives me a headache. Work, run, gym, sauna all day. Hey, that sounds like a fun day. That sounds like a very successful day. A very, very successful day. But now it's the freaking weekend. Now you can do whatever you want. Go get weird. Watch someone play a Pokemon ROM hack even. Fly. Fly me to the moon. Don't fly me back. My goal with everyone is to get to level 40 with each one. And before we taking on each gym. Yeah, Axe got lucky. Now this next mon did not. This next Pokemon did not. Look at that guy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that motherfucker. This is just sharks. This is just a picture of for Spirit Halloween. Yeah, no, this sprite got the one of the worst treatments. I should do like a tier list of some of the best sprites from this game. Scientist, you hammered me. We look at it, we go through all 156 Pokemon in this game and rank. It'd be fun. Like I could probably get it figured out. I just need like a good place. Like I would hope like someone has already archived the sprites somewhere, right? I guess that's what be my only concern. Or else I'm just gonna have to screenshot every fucking sprite. or you know what? You know what? Well, no. Yeah, I would. Be the change you like to see in the world. Very true. And welcome, Jack. I hope you is well and this Friday's treating you well. Play some games? Are you playing some sick yo-yo games? Doing some yo-yo tricks? Everyone's here tonight. We're all chilling, partying, vibing, lurking. And even if you're just lurking out there, thank you so much for lurking. Much, much appreciated. I'm glad, like, I'm doing... Ooh, excuse me. I'm glad you all chose to lurk here. Much appreciated. But yeah, no. It's a poppin' night. I'm still feel bad for not eating the gelato. Like, I should have waited just a little longer. But that thing was, like, melting quick. Like, it was kind of weird of, like, how... Well, maybe it's just was a super hot day. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, I would not recommend the Taco Bell gelato. Just get some real stuff. $36. Is it level time? Dang it, blast it. Damn it. I need card key. So what we can basically do in Self-Co, at least like the brute force way, is just going through and fighting every trainer. There is like an option of just like essentially fighting one trainer in the whole route to do everything, which I did not know about until recently. Like there's like little like hidden things. Like I did not know about there's like a hidden item or a invisible item on the SSN, like under a bed. I knew about the Pokeball like in the trash can, but there's like another one in the bed. What? There shouldn't be any children here. Everyone was taught that in school, NDK. Look, school's very here, alright? Oh my god. Oh, look at... This ROM just cannot do legs at all. Like, anytime legs get involved... Like... Oh, wow, they switched. Wait, they switched it after I attacked. That's weird. And yeah, that's super weird. No, I agree. Yeah, no, like, there shouldn't be any... I don't think it uses... You know what? You know what? I totally forgot. Yeah, Baton Pass, maybe. But, that was weird. Oh, goodness. You're only on 5. It's a long way to my boss. Ugh. But yeah, I didn't see it use Baton Pass, so I don't know. It was just kind of weird. Alright. It'll...
Team Rocket rule!
Oh, fuck me. Why is Juggler part of Team Rocket? He heard about the benefits. He heard about the great healthcare plan they have. And you know, juggling these days, you know, it's hard out here for a juggler. Everyone just keeps thinking he's a juggalo. You know, they disrespect him. He juggles balls, and they go like, "How do magnets work?" And they're like, That's not the same. That's not what I'm doing. I don't even listen to ICP." Then he gets uploaded on TikTok, and people still call him the Juggalo Man. It's a pretty sad life for him. And that's the whole backstory I just wrote for that guy, and that's why he joined Team Rocket. Yeah, like family. You know, when you're here, you're family. Now that will be a fun tier list. Now that would be a hilarious tier list. Like, what fan groups are the most, like, obnoxious? It's like Deadheads are one. Tool fans are really obnoxious. As much as I even like Tool, like, oh my god, I am so sick of hearing about the Fibonacci sequence. I felt like that was just my life for like 3 years was just hearing about the Fibonacci sequence and playing that album. Fish fans. Rainbow Gathering weirdos. Yeah, I heard fish fans. Toho fans. You know what, Shark? I understand where you're, I actually been kind of wanting to play a Toho game on stream. Believe it or not. I work for self. What should I do? Let me sleep. It's a first-person dungeon crawler in the vein of SMT. So, perfect for this channel, but I just haven't like procured funds to buy it or feel comfortable doing it on my PC. Wait, what? Yeah, furries included. Who else? We already said Juggalos. Metallica fans? I don't know. Eek! No, stop, help. Oh, you're not with Team Rocket. I thought. I'm sorry, here, please take this. Self-destruct! Where? LARPers. Yeah, LARPers. Yeah. Cosplayers. Intruder spotted. Baby metal fans. TCG players. And collectors especially. Yeah, vinyl card people, vinyl people. Like, who is most like up their own butt? Probably the fish people. Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why I feel fish would be it. So it's like two negative energies canceling each other out. That's how that works. You know, two negative energies create a positive energy. It's just math. All right? It's just math. Sushi. Who are you? I found Northeast US fake country people are the worst brand of them. Fake country people. That's a very particular, like, brand. Just because, like, I don't know. Part of me is, like, having trouble comprehending fake country. Like they live in, like, I guess suburbia and what? Just wear all the cowboy boots and whatnot. Does that... Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, cosplaying as cowboys. I see. Young Gravy just dropped a country album, by the way. All right, I'm going to actually listen to that tomorrow. I'll torment all my coworkers and anybody who walks in. I'm all for. You know what rabbit hole I decided to go down? The bad, like, I want, like, not bad music, but like bands flop eras. Millionaires that don't work but have a farm. Yeah, there we go. Perfect explanation. So we went like Van Halen 3's like single. We just did singles of some of these stuff. Motley Crue's grunge album, which I still haven't listened to fully. Wow, I'm so scared. Who else? God, I know I looked up someone else. I know we've listened to like a little bit of Run DMC. I'll sometimes put on Run DMC's cover of Take the Money and Run. Enough of your silly games. That's from their Flop album. Who else? I was going to put the weird Black Sabbath. God, what is it? 2 or 3 albums that they had with the third singer that barely anyone remembers about. Like after you know, after Ozzy and then after Dio. No, I'm talking about after Dio. I'm talking about that era. Yeah, a lot of people love Dio Sabbath. But yeah, that. No one talks about that era. Only recently, I think that stuff just got like re-released on vinyl too, which is kind of wild to like think about. Yeah, Heaven and Hell is a banger, and then like I just remember even seeing like performances of the. I don't know what it was, but like I just remember seeing like performances of like them touring under that name. No continues left. I don't understand. I don't get your reference, nerd. I did put in I did listen to Rainbow's Lost in Hollywood. That is like one of the bangers I have like I remember listening to at Spencer's and will take with me no matter where I go. That song just slaps. That's such a riffy, fun song. I'm trying to think of what other weirdo albums are like flops. So good of you join me. Well, whatever. God, who else has some interesting? I was gonna put on the Billy Idol album where it was like a cyberpunk album. So if you didn't know that, Billy Idol has like a cyberpunk album. Oh, I know more PP. And there's Girder. I'm stunned. I'm out dig. Carbos. Hell yeah. More drugs to feed our cat. More rare candies. TM26. Make sure. Hulk, do you have an appointment with my boss? I'm trying to think of like, yeah, I guess Rainbow. I mean, Rainbow gone on so long, you know, post Dio. Like, I always forget, you know, there's a Rainbow. I mean, what am I saying? I listened to fucking Lost in Hollywood, and that's not a non-Dio song. I should check out more of that album. Also, I think that's when, like, or almost, there's, like, live footage of, like, Rainbow, and they have Ying Ming Sting or whatever on the guitar. I can't remember, but like, I don't know, maybe that dude's cooler than the stories, but I just remember like everyone just shitting on him, apparently like for being pretentious. It's been forever, so I don't even know if that's accurate. but there's video of him like performing that song out, and it's pretty good. It's a really good cover, or not cover, but like rendition. Oh, wow. 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 Okay, wow. I never put the two together. I Now I hear it. It's like now I just hear it. Like now all the highs and everything makes sense. I didn't either. Thanks, Wikipedia. Fair, fair. Well, that's super cool. Helps really make that song fly. For sure. It's such a cool song. Who else? Man. I guess Deep Purple. That's also another band that goes on forever. Yes, probably has some weird albums that even their fans are just like, eh. Every band's career is going to have it. Oh, you know what I started out with? Megadeth's Risk. In particular, the Breadline. What up? Even now, even listening to that song in 2024, we're like, you know, you could probably look back on stuff and like, okay, you know, appreciate it for this, or be too forward thinking in some respects. Man, that song just doesn't hold up in any aspect. Like, even for like a more dancey, groovy song, it just doesn't do well. Thank you, Shark. Brothers, I lost. Late who? Interesting. You know what? No one's really talked. I don't hear people talking about Late Who. It's always, you know, Who's Next, or yeah, in those albums. It's funny enough, like you mentioned that, because that's sort of kind of what happened with Oasis. Like, they released their first two albums, and then their third album, a lot of people was just a bloated mess. You Better Bet was an 80s single. Huh. Well, CSI hasn't used that as one of their title songs yet, so I'm not familiar with it. God, that's honestly, that no lie, that's honestly how I got introduced to some of the Who, was because of those CSI Miami, or what, crime scenes, I don't fucking know, but they all use like Who songs. Like, you had like, who are you? Who? Like on the very first one. Then you had, I know they used The Secret at some point. I'm pretty sure. And then they used like the screaming intro from Baby O'Reilly. Or the cha. Alright, cool. You're not gonna beat me up. Metallica, also, you know, whether or not you like Metallica, they tried weird things here and there. And also, you don't have to like their experimentations, but at least they tried. God, what's one of the... I mean, there's, I mean, everyone talks about Saint Anchor, which is a very, you know, well documented, literally documented. Literally a documentary was shot about it and released into movie theaters. So load and reload, I never had a problem with. Like I don't mind feel. Yeah, they have some more like dumb rock, you know, some dumb hard rock songs. Was it? No, I like yeah, to the realm. I'm thinking like I'm getting some of those songs, like mixed up with like Godsmack songs. Like I know "Ain't My Bitch" is what. I feel like "Ain't My Bitch" is God. I want to say a Godsmack song, but I feel like that is a Metallica song. I can't remember. I just know Godsmack has also a song, like, calling out Motley Crue, which is funny. Fun fact, that if you want a fun fact, Motley Crue put out... No, Godsmack put out a song. They can find Motley Crue. Crying Like a Bitch. Yeah, okay, yeah. Metallica had Ain't My Bitch. Godsmack had the Crying Like a Bitch song. Yeah. And the Crying Like a Bitch song was over, like, drama with Motley Crue, if I remember correctly. Which is fucking hilarious. Unforgiven 2 is alright. It's honestly the Whiskey in the Jar cover, honestly, I think sells it. Or sells, like, most of that album. Aw, look at that. Look at it. It's not as cursed. Look at that ice cream cone. I'm done. I'm coming undone. Despite your age, you're a skilled trainer. I know. Parrind is just fucked up. Oh yeah, he's just... They broke his legs. Then Lizzie made no bad albums. See, that's like another older band I need to get back into. Or check out, like, more of their catalog. Thin Lizzy. Should check out more. I definitely need to check out more Motorhead. God, one of my favorite Motorhead tracks isn't even really their, like, a heavy track. But it's honestly just Lemmy reading out the lyrics to one of his songs. Just, like without, like, anything. And it's kind of, like, it's pretty good. Like, I know just, like, the way I described it sounds like what, but it's actually pretty interesting of how it goes about it. Shit, my 2 knocked out Pokemon are the ones I need catch up in leveling. Oh well, we're like halfway through, if not more, through this little dungeon. Did anyone ever equate, like, this building as a quote-unquote dungeon? You know, in the sense of, like, you know, you're fighting a bunch of enemies and trying to, like, get through it all on so much supplies. I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting. You won't find my boss by just scurrying around, I know. Don't remind me, asshole. God damn. I'm also... Oh, hey. Actually, this is the spot. But I'm also looking for... I could have sworn there's a bed here. You dare betray Team Rocket? I'm pretty sure there's a bed in this building that we can use to recover our health. So we don't have to just, like, run outside.
Team Rocket rule!
You kind of see through it after your first time. You're like, okay, you know, this is the part where we go through all, you know, yeah, you just equate it to, like, the other dungeons. Or, places. So it's kind of crazy, like, looking back and, like, what Pokemon established for me going forward in video games. Like, I didn't mind grinding, or like, you traitor! They knew I'm ZDK. Oh no, I'm found out. Team Rocket's trying to conquer the world with Pokemon. The Rockets came and took over the building. Oh dear, help me please. Look at him, he's such a coward. It's like, if you're just so scared, just go lay down and die for them, sweetie. Might as well get some of our health up. I'm gonna be so mad if we find it, like, within the next floor. There must be. The target is stiff for our Pokemon products. Yeah. Whatever. Alright. Fight me. And we got one more other guy. What other companies would Team Rocket merge with? That's a very good question. There is a space company that Team Rocket could always merge with. You know, I think they'd do good, great business. God, there's plenty of public transportation that could use security. You know, that I'm sure that Team Rocket and the city could work out to agreement. Raython. yes. Team Rocket robbed Raython. Which, good on them. Good on them. Let's see. Alright, we already got... Well, let's fight the scientists. Might as well. That rotten president, he shouldn't send me to Tiki's Beach. Okay. I'm just trying to think of other, like, Pokemon things that have happened. And that's the kind of the sad thing lately in Pokemon is, like, besides Legends, which I think Legends is really cool. I'm just going to get another little stick. But anyways, I'm not sure what the story in Scarlet and Violet is, but the Pokemon storylines have been just kind of boring lately. And people would argue they've always been boring, but Generation 5 was very cool. Generation 6 introduced a lot of very interesting concepts and dealt with the Pokemon, or mentioned Pokemon Wars a lot more than we have ever had in any of the games. Generation 7 was the space and interdimensional stuff that we got with the space Pokemon. And then 9 is just the mayor wants to be evil and powerful, pretty sure. Like, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's the storyline in 9. Is just like you're going to go train to become the best, and oh yeah, the mayor's evil. Have fun. Like, have fun, kid. Yeah, sword. I could have sworn that was the plot. It was just like, oh, Giga, I'm going to use this power. He wants to divert a potential energy crisis. LOL. 100 years from now. I'm glad someone picked up on that, because I sure as didn't. Like, maybe it's just been so long, and in my defense, they really don't fucking talk about that point until the very end. But man, yeah, even that's kind of just like, oh, really? You couldn't do better? Something more interesting? My Pokemon are loyal soldiers. I am sending out my child animal army out. Oh shit. Yeah, all of our Mons are just about out of moves. 38. Darn, you weak Pokemon. Wow, I'm so scared. Okay. Alright. Let's just start going down. Have I been here? Have I talked to you? Yes. Alright, we went all the way down there. Yeah, we've already done this fight. God. It really has been forever since I've done this. I wonder if it's finished. Just like how, like... I mean, you gotta have to have your dead ends, I guess. Oh wow, we're back at... Okay, well, now that we're on the first floor, let me go heal, at least. Heal up my team. Switch them around. Get ready to kick more ass. We hope to see you again. Actually, because I think I have some drugs. Let's go ahead. Let's give our favorite cat drugs. Oh, Titty Cat's not in this change. Titty cat. All right. Carbs. And or calcium. Oh, yeah. I'll just change box. No, god damn it. Yes. Alright. Deposit, titty cat. And Sismin Toad. Alrighty. We fed our cat drugs. That thing's going to be so dumb when it walks into the Elite Four. Let's see. Yeah, we've already done this. Is there anything back here? Okay. I guess this is like also part of the problem this older version is keeping track of what floor you're on. Oh. Help! I'm a Sif employee, so I'm going to Poke Battle you. Help me help you. Vanilla Lights says bye. Actually, yeah, let's get our Toad out. Shh. Now it just looks like it has an arrow for a mouth. Rubbish, nah. We'll just bubble beam our way to victory. Yeah, slap me twice. Hey, buddy. How was your day, Zeusy? How did you know I was a rocket? You challenged me to a Pokemon battle. That's how. I work for both Team Rocket and Silph Core. And we fought these guys. Haven't gotten in there yet. Fought you. And these lead to nowhere. This one leads. Bell 1 crazy, crazy year. Thank you so much for the prime. Much, much appreciated. As always. Thank you so much. Let's see. Okay, we've gone through here. Just like wondering like what little warp. Like I always miss the warp. Hate it. I guess it wouldn't be Pokemon if I like knew it by hand immediately. Alright, next floor. Okay, this actually looks promising, as weird as that sounds. Okay, well, shit, never mind. Immediately backfired. Well, maybe back here there's somebody. That's weird. You just have to confirm it every time. It's not smart to pick a fight with Team Rocket. Whatever, nerd. Oh, you know what? I think that was it right here. Aha! Card key. With this, we get to say bingo a lot. And we can go places that we couldn't go before. And we've beaten everyone, I'm pretty sure, so I think we're safe to go. Hyper Potion. I'll take it. What's up, buddy? Jozushi. I support Team Rocket more than I support itself. That's right. Pro Team Rocket. Team Rocket lets you have a union. I bet Self Corp doesn't. Let's see. Wing attack. Okay, that's going to do jack and shit. So let's use confusion. How am I missing with a... Okay, whatever. I guess we're just sticking wing attack. Hip from bowl posture. Is this stretch? You think it misses when it's not effective? I can see that. That's a huge possibility. Like, oh yeah, like it just doesn't do enough damage or whatnot. God damn it. That's true. That's very true. Thank you. You really got me. Hey, you really got me. You got me, so, why is there... That's weird. Alright, before we do that junk... Your Pokemon seems to adore you, kid. Yeah, that's what happens when you train them good. Alright, Goosey. Let's use wing attack. Wing attack our way. God, oh. Ah, okay, we survived it. Yeah, we need to get our little toad up a little bit more. It's lowered its head. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm skull bashing. Timber. Swana. I'm just gonna spend the compliment reward. Valid. Hey, I'll keep coming up with compliments. I do need to put sound effects. I know something. I want to put more like particular sound effects that actually like make sense and then go along well. Aha! We found the heal spot. Sweet. Perfect right before we fight our rival. Don't give up. Definitely spent like I want some more of like the team like how I have the Team Rocket rules. Something like that. All right. We're probably gonna walk all over him, but let's go. Also, what kept you, NDK? Ha 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 ha! I thought you'd turn up if I waited here. I guess Team Rocket slowed you down. Not that I care. I saw you Saffron, so I decided to see if you got better. B-Vile wants to fight. Oh god, I forgot that's what our pheasant looks like from the front. No, we're going to keep our Toad out against this fire type? Yeah, fire type. At least for he's a fire type. The Trituga. So, the turtle. Throw mud on it. Yeah. Stupid turtle. The turtle, the Trituga, honestly, has a pretty good design. Zoraka. Okay, we'll switch. Shh. It does look like it wants to smoke weed. You know, it doesn't look zonked, but it still looks like it wants to, like, it would hit a bong if you offered one. Oh, shit. That's a good way to put it, Rue. Zorua is indica and Zorak is sativa. Definitely one of those people that are just all about their sativas. So don't fizz it out. Yeah. Just need one more. Sweet. Bevile has been defeated. Oh ho, so you are ready for Boss Rocket. Well, NDK, I'm moving on up and ahead. By checking my Pokédex, I'm starting to see what's strong and how they evolve. I'm going to the Pokemon League to boot out the Elite Four. I'll become the world's most powerful trainer. Well, NDK, good luck to you. Don't sweat it. Smell ya. Oh, hi. You're not a Rocket? You came to save us? Why, thank you. I want you to have this Pokemon for saving us. Snivy. Do you want to give it a name? No. There's no more room for your Pokemon. Snivy was sent to Pokebox 3. It's a very rare Pokemon type. We keep it in our lab, but it will be much better off with you. I think you will be a good trainer for this Pokemon. Well, there's another Pokemon for the Elite Four. Oh shit, we gotta go heal. Let's go heal before we take on Giovanni. And we hear, haha, Team Rocket rules! I do need to clip that, be my slave, from Rocket. That would be a great clip just to fucking have and spam at people. Shit, where'd I... No, it was through here. It was through here, then down. Yep. Thank you, Shark. After this Giovanni fight, we will take a break. Grab water, whatnot. Then we'll just go straight into Sabrina. We do need our crocodile to evolve at some point. Stop right there. Don't you move. Rocket wants to fight. Straggy. I do like Straggy's design. It's like, what, you want to fight? You want to fight me? Come on, I'll fight you, bitch. Try to get another bowl ready. Sorry. Alright. Let's just dig. High jump kick. Oh, you love to see it. He missed again. No, we'll stay out. Use crunch. Scrap D. Dig. And we will dig again. Dig further and further. Oh, that one landed. Got him level 39. Don't, please. God damn it, our little dude's not evolved yet. Heal up one last time and then take on Giovanni. Don't give up. Level 40? Okay, thank you both. Thank you, Root and Shark, with the both simultaneous response. Bingo! The car key will open the door. Ah, NDK, so we meet again. The president and I are discussing a vital business proposition. Keep your nose out of grown-up matters, or experience the world of pain. Everything you strive for, I will steal, Rue. Damn. That's declaration of war. That's all I read. I'll allow you to borrow things. Oh shit, he dug too. He dug my dig. Man, if he's just gonna keep gar-specking everyone. Alright, 2 all in 1. Alright, Shark, we'll do. Not a problem. Nah, I was like, I'm already far in. I'm going to do... just going to have to do 2. Yes, critical hit. Oh god, his Exigil's definitely faster than mine. Or faster than my, of course. Wait, that's not fair! He got an extra turn! He got an extra turn to hide underground. What the fuck? Oh, I should have sent him Swan. Oh well. It's fine. Giovanni. I lost again. Blast it all, you ruined our plans for Sylph. But Team Rocket will never fall. Never, NDK, never forget that all Pokemon exists for Team Rocket. I must go, but I shall return. Alright, let's go take the Pokeball. Thanks for you for saving Sylph. I will never forget what you saved us in our moment of peril. Thank you. Because I'm rich, I could give you anything. Here, maybe this will do. Here's a Pokeball. Fuck off, kid. Thanks for rescuing all of us. We admire your courage. Alright, well. And that was Sylph. We done. We out. We beat them all. What floor are we even on? Alrighty, and the town's returned to normal. Alright. We're gonna heal, save. Because I know we got like a Haxorus to train up to later. So we're going to need the rare candies for him. Honestly, what? Oh. I mean. Yeah, I mean, but just a couple of battles, random battle. I mean, yeah, just like the first battle in the psychic gym would be good. All right, let's save. Let's take a break, grab more water, chill, maybe roll more weed, grind more weed. In my case, I need to grind some indica and grind some permanent marker. This is what I'm going to do. But yeah, we'll be back with more Pokemon Unova Red, taking on Sabrina, coming right up.
Nephos.
Hurry. I'm back. Everything. And out of breath. Alright. Oh. Thank you for the redeemed shark, as always. And if you aren't already, you should give Shark a follow and check out his Kingdom Hearts streams where he's been playing through Kingdom Hearts on the Nintendo Switch via the cloud, like God intended. We got the next episode's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good time. A lot of shenanigans are about to happen. That's the only way to describe what that whole sequence is. Shenanigans after shenanigans. Ooh, sorry. Right. And let's make our way. Let's give Sabrina a visit. See how she's doing. Oh wait, before we let's just make a save out here. And let's go down the line. Sabrina is young, but she's also our leader. You won't reach her easily. Psychic wants to fight. Muna. We got our crocodile just to crunch all these dream eaters away. There we go. I guess I really should get these three, make sure they're ready. Oh, thank you, Shark. Fly. Fly again, like the bird I am. I lost my concentration. What? Let's go. We've seen worse. That's a really good sprite, actually. Let's see. I need someone with a dark type move. Do we have anyone like that right now? You guys don't. We'll just drill peck everyone. Yeah, some of them definitely feels like copies of others. They copy over to other sprites. I forgot what the last sprite was that we were like, oh, that's the Moltres sprite. Or you're just saying, like, in general, they just traced over. I see that too. I think sometimes, but I think they're just trying to modify old sprites. And that's why sometimes we get very bizarre results. Oh, that guy. Muna, yeah, just switch back. Let's say not on Pheasant. Oh well. That's fine. Yeah, just stay. Shh. I'm glad I'm not the only one stuck with fucking confusion. I never foresaw this. You're not a good psychic. Several Pokemon Gym is famous for its psychics. You want to see Sabrina, I can tell. There's no other reason I'd be in here, asshole. And that's like going in a crowd and going like, do we have any Earthlings here tonight? Arrgh, I'm having a psychic aneurysm. Sabrina is younger than I, but I respect her. As you should. She's the only reason why you're still breathing. Chandler wants to fight. Evasion Rose. I'm pretty sure Drill Peck is like pretty, not the most accurate. I know it's not super inaccurate, but I know it's not 100%. No, great. Sirism, god damn it. Aneurysm, more like a sinurism. I'll be here at the Laugh Factory all night, folks. I get paid by the laugh, so please laugh. Psychic power isn't alone enough. I didn't even read that one, barely. Siglyph. Reflect, yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Rue. Thank you for hanging out and vibing with us. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Mirror move. Fuck that. We're not learning mirror move. Welcome back, Jack. I hope your night's been treating you well as well. We're sitting here going through the 5th gym leader. What? And got worse road rash. Aw. I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, we're on this side. Your Pokemon must be tough then. Yeah, we're some badasses. Did your bike slip out of gear again? Is that what happened? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's rough. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. I knew it. Swoon back. So how your experience, Jack? You're saying, well, if you're a road rash connoisseur. I know, that's all I was like, wait, then Shark beat me to it. Yeah, what Bell says, you should get a new chain if you're having trouble changing gears. You're ahead of the game, Jack. Oh, damn, Shark. Really? Oh, damn, doesn't affect. Oh, fuck me. Oh, we don't want to do this minimized game. Okay, just get me out of here. Tricycle. You know, that famous Queen song. I want to ride my tricycle. Tricycle. Come on. Oh, this is going to be terrible. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I want to ride my tricycle. I want to ride it where I like. I want to ride my tricycle. Oh yeah, I forgot, I'm fucking confused. Shit. Yes. No. Alright, yeah, wing attacks. Cool, cool. Wing attacks are cool. Thank you, Shark, for another hit from the bowl. Oh, I think I've seen that guy at least 3 times. I lost after all. Alrighty. Alright, let's, real quick. Now we need to drop off our team. As soon as I can remember how the fuck to get... Okay. Alright, so right, left. No, left and then right. Yeah. Alright, so we gotta drop off our team and we gotta take only our birds into fighting Sabrina. You know, I should double check some of the TM moves we got. No, we're not using self-destruct. Oh wow, earthquake. That's really good. We're not using takedown. We're not giving psychic to Swoombat. Swoombat's... This is going to be Swoombat's last battle. Pheasant still has fights to do, but Swoombat we're throwing out of the party after this. Oh, I gotta heal everyone. For those of you who do not know, in this battle we have to... Oops. Wow, we gotta change to another box. Box 4. Zeus, see me? Zeus? See me? I just hear them like growling at each other back there. I'm just like, God damn it. Alright. So for the gym leaders, we have to just bring a certain set of Pokemon, and we gotta play the battles in set mode. Which means we can't switch out once a Pokemon faints on the other team. So let's get our ass all the way back up there. Also, I'm just probably going to bring this fly team into Sabrina's or into Koga's gym as well when we do that, just to help clear out those trainers. And then we go left, then right. No. God damn it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we leave with Swoombat. We can't use items. And we have to just use these 3 Pokemon. Let's begin. I had a vision of your arrival. I had a psychic power since I was a child. I first learned to bend spoons with my mind. I dislike fighting, but if you wish, I shall show you my powers. Sabrina wants to fight. And once again, down in the corner, you can see the achievements I'm available for. So, as long as we got those 2 icons down there, we're all set. Let's try Hypnosis. Okay, yeah. Full Zarin. How about Amnesia? Get our special up. Oh boy. Alright, Confusion's gonna do something at least. Let's just like keep boosting our fucking Swoombat up. The battle. Oh, okay, I'm already maxed. I already maxed out my special boost. Alright, well. That was 1. Honestly, we may have just won this with Swoombat. Just boosting Swoombat 5 levels would do the trick, it looks like. Reclunes! Look at that ugly motherfucker. Be cool, drink water. Thank you, sure. Zeus. He's really grumpy. Yeah, go for the wing attack. Oh god. Okay, confusion? Oh god, no. Okay, I guess we're just having out BP, or out PP recover. Be cool, drink water, and this is a stretch. Oh god. Ooh, thank you. Oh. Let me put my arms back. Oh. 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 Oh god. Heard a little crack. Oh my god, look at that ugly... Ooh, now that's an ugly sprite. Oh shit, Feint Attack still hits me. I keep forgetting Feint Attack hits me everywhere. For a second, she makes bad predictions. Lower level for some reason. Skylust challenge. I'm shocked, but a loss is a loss. I admit, I didn't work hard enough to win. You're in the Marsh Badge. The Marsh Badge makes Pokemon level 70 and up obey. Stronger Pokemon will ignore your battles, just don't raise your Pokemon too much. Wait, please take this. Side beam. Alrighty. Another 4 achievements. Grabbed. Boy, Zeus, I promise I'm almost done. Zeus is getting anxious, so let's go and do Koga. Then we'll call it a stream. So one more gym. Zeusy, I promise I'm almost done. And yeah, probably all weekend I'm just going and spin trying to get some of our Pokemon up that I'm going to need for the next 2 gyms, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably be working on getting like some of our other mons that we need for the last 2 gyms up. And then we'll maybe even start on like working on everyone else. I don't know. Monday will be a weird day. It's gonna be a long stream of probably like once we defeat those gym leaders. We got oh shit, I gotta make sure. Am I ready? Once we defeat those gym leaders, we gotta make sure who else is ready. We just got the Elite 4 team ready. So we gotta get Titty Kitty up. And a bunch of our other mons leveled up. Alright. Same deal. Oh. But we can switch, so... Gotta go through this gym and just fight everyone. Strength isn't key for Pokemon, it's strategy. I'll show you the strategy can beat brute strength. Whatever, dude. Beheem. Just sort of rocks at it. Shit. Oh, god damn it. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. Oh, that sucks. Man, I was hoping... Alright, I need... Fuck me. I need Seismitoad for more of these fights and not just die on the first fucking fights. Oh, that's lame. Switch around. Put our crocodile up front. Yeah. Bruh, you just put me asleep. That's all you did. And it was a critical hit. Cool. What? Extraordinary. Alright. Oh. Seismitoad. I wanted to become a ninja, so I joined this gym. How's that going? Have you become any closer to becoming a ninja since joining? I like Ponair. Hey, Bird Bunch, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, no, it looks like someone cosplaying as him. It's a pretty good look. Mud shot everywhere. We got our Seismitoad. Hope all is well with you. The sprite is huge for a small Pokemon. I mean, yeah, that's the weird, like, I guess, like, proportions are so out of whack in this game. Because, you know, they're just trying to draw a portrait. Even though Whirlipede here looks huge. You know, they got Whirlipede's side, and I bet, like, when we see the evolved formed, it's also going to look really good like this, or really big. Alright, we got our little cool crocodile. You know, honestly, I didn't think about proportions too much in Gen 1, now you mentioned it. Like, you know, I knew Diglett was small. Well, also I had the anime to help. That helps a lot. Now saying it, whoa! STV 101 with the raid. Welcome, Raiders.
STV 101 rated. With 2 viewers.
Welcome. If you don't know, STV 101 is a JRPG streamer. Been playing through a lot of different games. Let's see, Lost Odyssey. About to finish that up, or maybe finish that up. What game were you playing tonight? Like, I didn't get a chance to pop in before stream. And welcome, Raiders. I'm not Don Knotts, variety streamer. I've been kind of getting into retro achievements lately. And currently tonight we're playing Unova Red. ROM hack of Pokemon Red with the Gen 5 Pokemon in it. So feel free to join us as we watch some really great sprites of all types. But thank you for the raid as always, STV. If you need a raid to run, no worries. Gotcha. Much appreciated again. Right now we're currently on Koga. And so I go through his gym. Let's see, with the ROM hack achievement set, we are going through different conditions to be the gym leaders. So I think a lot of the challenges are reflective of the gym leaders in Gen 5 Unova. We've been doing themed challenge runs of Fallout 3 and New Vegas themed after Carmen Rider. Ooh. Oh, that sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. I cannot recommend STV 101 enough. Definitely give him a follow if you haven't already. We will finish Lost Odyssey tomorrow. I feel. I know I need to get into that game myself. Oh, my poor cat's throwing a fit. But yeah, so for this challenge, we have to A, stay within the gym and beat all the trainers. And once we do that, we have to take on Koga with 3 particular Pokemon in set mode. So that's kind of what we got about to come up here in a moment. After we lose Sismatoad. Fuck it, just say a Swoobat. Modded in Kamen Rider suit and using unarmed hand and only. Hell yeah. See, I always wanted to do like a more like, I wish hand to hand was more intense in Fallout, because I always want to do like a brawly run, as I call it, where I guess it's a similar situation where you're just playing as an unarmed individual just punching the shit out of things. Yeah, whatever. This is fine. We just got 2 more trainers. Master Koga comes from a long line of ninjas. What did you descend from? Pokemon. Well, no, this is Red, not Ash. Alright, for all we know, Red actually has a father, unlike Ash. Well, I mean, we all know, well, Ash's father's just Mr. Mime. You know, we all know that's canon. Susie. Yeah, my cat's just being a brat now. I understand. It's been a long day. I had to go look at apartments today, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting. Oh, I missed one. I missed a guy. I already fought. Yeah, I fought you. I didn't like the apartment I saw today, but I really like the one I saw yesterday, so we're probably gonna go with that one. We'll see. I still got time. It would be in it'd be like 2 blocks from where I'm at, honestly. Like not even too far of a move, but it would like give Zeus what the one thing I really like about it is Zeus would be able to just like at least have more of an illusion of a like more space because it has a stairwell that only I could get in, or people with the key or whatnot can get in. Not even like neighbors. It's just a private stairwell that just like leads into the rest of the apartment. So it'll give Zeus like I guess more of an illusion of like going up and down and running around. You know, along with like higher vantage points for him to just like sit up and like, you know, look down upon things at. This is a weird gym. Yeah, so once we get that achievement, it means we can move on to the next part, which is take on Koga with 3 particular Pokemon, which is Sismatoad, Excadrill, and Kokoroke. And the rooms are nicer, or like bigger than the ones I have. I'm just gonna be happy to finally have like my going to have my dresser like in the same room as my bed. Like that's a weird thing to be like talk about, but like yeah, I'd like to have my bed and my dresser in the same place, please. I can't do that in my current situation. Well, I mean I can, but it's just weird and would be very awkward. So that'll be a great change of pace. Alright, so with that, we also gotta switch to set type battles, which means we can't switch out. Yeah, we'll start with Sismatoad, and we can't be over level 44 in this one. In Sabrina, you couldn't be over level 43. Why? I think it's just a reference to the game, and how like trainers will like instinctively like go for like I think Koga is technically first. Let's look at our badges real quick. Actually, our badges will let us know. Yeah, Koga's number 5 right there. You can see I have Sabrina number 6. So yeah, just them referencing that weird little factoid. Fwahahaha. A mere child like you dare to challenge me? Very well, I shall show you true terror as ninja master. You shall feel the despair of poisonous sleep techniques. Drip check. Alrighty. Ooh. Alright, a drip check before Koga. Because, you know, Koga's going to get defeated in more than one way. Tonight, I am wearing one of my favorite shirts. Old guard. My thought drip. Come on, it just means clothes, jewelry. Today I have these little nice earrings. I don't know. I've got my eyebrow rings in. I know something that a lot of people probably haven't seen. No, you're good. I got a tooth gem that I love showing off. So like, it's just of a dagger on my like one of my canine tooths. It's so goofy. I love it. Go get tooth gems. Just word to the wise, it's like getting braces again. Or like, you can't have taffy. So, fashion or taffy, that's your call. Obviously, you saw what what life I chose. Let's see. Oh, just getting this bull pack ready. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Just throw mud on it. Yeah. And of course, your rivals will throw shit at you. I could go without taffy. Exactly. That's what I said too. I don't even like, God, Tootsie Rolls. God. Hot take, but I think Tootsie Rolls are bad. Like, I don't know why they're as popular as they are. They just, even like when I had braces, like, or after I had braces, before I had braces, they were always like the worst feeling. Like, it definitely felt like I was like fucking up my teeth. Like, if I want to like murder my teeth like today, I should go and, God, what is it? What is it? God, what is it called? I should eat a bunch of Tootsie Rolls and drink RC Cola if I really just wanted to fucking murder my teeth. Oh my god. Pumping this thing full of X attacks. Yes! Let's go! RC Cola is just like a very acidic cola found in my part of the United States. I don't know how widespread it is overall. I'm pretty sure it's like East Coast, South, North, like, or Northern, Northeast. I'm not sure how like West Coast it is, I guess. Scully PD. Oh, wow. That's a cool sprite. But it just took a dog sprite, right? Did it take Taurus's sprite? That Among Us is freaking scary. LOL. I've grown used to it after, God, the last stream. We were running into it in the Safari Zone a lot. Also, before I forget, let me give a shout out. Now that I can again. Boop, 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 boop. You should definitely give Burp Bunch a follow as well, if you haven't already. RPG Maker developer. Also, sometimes he streams StarCraft 2, LOL, couple of other random things. Other RPG Maker games as well. Street Fighter 6. Oh shit, that bug bite hurt. Oh yeah, that's right, we're dark type. I totally forget dark types. Ooh, hey. Not a really good ninja. To hide in the walls, not hide the walls. Clay's challenge. Koga is defeated. You have proven your worth. Here, take the soul badge. Now that you have the soul badge, the defense of your Pokemon increases. It also lets you surf outside battle. Take this too. Contains toxic. It's a secret technique over 400 years old. We've been using bio-warfare for centuries, kid. Zeus. Okay. Well, I made a promise that call it after Koga, so Zeus would stop being a grumpy cat. Sammy's just like, I can sleep anywhere, all day, any day. It's just... So next time, let's see. I'm going to try and grind up our next teams that we need for the next 2 gyms, just over the weekend. Just chilling. Zeus, leave her alone. Oh, Zeus is menacing Sammy so bad. So yeah, so we won't have to like grind so much. I'll probably get also like our Elite Four team somewhat ready because God, we gotta get that. We just got the 3rd starter, and we gotta get that thing all the way to like level 60 for the Elite Four. So we got a couple of things we need to do. Thank you all so much for hanging and vibing with me tonight. Much appreciated. Thank you again, STV 101 for the raid. Much appreciated. Thank you all. Thank you to the lurkers. Thank you anyone just chatting, vibing, hanging out. Thank you Bell. Thank you Burbunch. Thank you Shark. Thank you Rue. Thank you Jack. Much appreciated. Alright, y'all. Let's see. Let me double check. Like, oh, Zeus is being so whiny right now. I'm so sorry, y'all. He is just crying. But yeah, good night. We're going. I don't want to read out. Where? I hate this update. I hate this Twitch update so much. It is such a horrible update. It's so inconvenient. I don't get to see who I want to see first. Alright, we're just going to end it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I hate the update so much. So I could go on a whole rant about it because I think it's just so shit. It really just makes it more difficult to just like pull up the people like I just want to see immediately. Alright, y'all. Thank you again so much for vibing and chilling. I'll be back on Monday, probably around 5 p.m. And until then, see ya. Bye.